is going to sweep the polls this election. But let me also tell you that in 2009, the two states that are going to be deciding the overall fate of the parties is going to be Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. When I say Bihar, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh. The role played by Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu in 2004 will be played by these three states in 2009.
I think we are way ahead of the BJP. I think we are way ahead of the BJP, and the feedback I'm getting where I've traveled, I see no doubt that we'll be the largest single party by a very wide margin.
Well, again, I would say that let the people first take their decision. After all, in our constitutional scheme of things, the Indian people are the sovereign masters. So first let them decide.
Left is going to be at their 30s, you see. Between 25 and 35 is what the left will be. And all this sound and noise is not commensurate with 25, 30 or 35.
In goalpost, by far clearly the single largest group of parties or alliances. Why do I say so? On the first goalpost, just check the individual states from Jammu and Kashmir downwards. Check the positive states, Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, where we'll stay the same, Rajasthan, Punjab, states like Karnataka, West Bengal, Odisha, Northeast, and we'll hold our own in states like Andhra. So you will have clearly somewhere beyond 170, 180, 190. On the second front, once we are the single largest poll, I ask you, assume everything against us. But all the other parties whom you call a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth front, their political history, their philosophy, their thinking, their past history, is it not far closer to the Congress or the Congress Plus than to the NDA? Clearly the answer is yes.
I mean, India is a country where people can throw up a lot of surprises.
Well, obviously there is the BJP, which is a communal party. Now it comes with that baggage. So there is going to be a lack of ideological compatibility for the BJP to align with parties who are not going to accept that. So that limits the BJP's scope of forming any kind of formation, while the Congress does not have that baggage. So the Congress has a much wider net to choose a formation and an alliance from.
I don't think there is any live issue where you have these kind of debates which are alive at the moment in the country. And therefore, if somebody desperately tries to put them into the agenda, you can't push them. On the contrary, the key issues in this election are the economy, national security, and the quality of leadership we require.
There's one basic fault line and watershed of Indian politics. The basic Lakshman Rekha of Indian politics remains between secular formations and non-secular communal formations. Howsoever you might say that it is not there, economic policies can resemble each other, social policies can resemble each other, but certainly this basic fault line of politics remains. And therefore, it is around this fault line that alliances will be made, one side or the other side.
Well, we think that we have gone beyond that divide after 2004. And what we are really working for right now is to have a non-Congress secular alternative, which in our opinion would be more effective in the fight against communalism. And that is our aim in these elections.
He's our mascot, he's a great leader, and to think that he would want to break alliances is ridiculous.
It's a clear admission that they are not going to form a government on their own. They want new allies. That is a clear admission.
No, we are obviously not going to disclose the names of these new parties through the media. Wait for May 16, everything will fall in place. Of course, contacts are being established, and a few days ago, TRS, Telangana Rakshan Samiti, Sri Chandrasekhar Rao, he called on Advani ji. So this shows that we command today greater trust of political parties, because they know that a stable government can be formed in New Delhi only by a BJP-led government.
In any formation of a coalition, you look at those who are ideologically compatible. because you got to not only form a government with numbers, you got to form a government which is sustainable, you got to form a government which can govern and has ideological compatibility. Because if there are going to be inherent contradictions, you won't be able to function. So I don't think that's going to be a problem, because the Congress party itself doesn't merely arrive with the numbers, arrives with numbers and with without any ideological disadvantage, negative ideological mass.
Alliance will be based on one simple fact, that there needs to be a marked departure in the policy direction in the country. And this has to do not only with economic policy, but how we tackle communalism, how we tackle terrorism, how we implement social justice, how we pursue an independent foreign policy. I mean, all these are issues. So this will be the basis. Now, what sort of a combination will emerge? Again, that also we keep in mind. Our own history for the last 15 years tells you that always the combination that gave the government was formed post-elections. United Front was formed post-96 elections. NDA was formed post-98 elections. UPA was formed post-2004 elections. So such will be the case again in 2009.
We would shake hands with anybody who doesn't obstruct us in governance. And in the end, we have worked with the left, and we worked very well with the left. We had genuine differences with the left. And it was that, okay, we disagree. And it was an honest disagreement. The left was honestly disagreeing with us, and we were honestly disagreeing with them. So I don't think there should be any rancor on that. So if there is an honest disagreement, with both sides being honest on a view, on a perception, I don't think it means that there is any animosity in this. There are many times two parties, two people, two institutions can differ. And that is what the difference was. So that's all behind us now.
The regional parties have importance because they're going to win seats. They have respect because of a large number of regional aspirations that they satisfy. And thirdly, we have a very comfortable relationship with a number of regional parties. Our power sharing arrangement with them always has been that we lead in the center, you lead in the states. The Congress has a policy of grab all. And that's why their alliances don't work. Ours are more plausible.
No regional party is going to be in a position to try to form the government on its own, or as a leader of a coalition, or as anywhere resembling a single largest coalition or party. So regional parties will have to decide the question you asked, whether they fall this side or that side of the communal secular divide. And that's where the BJP has a big problem.
They will play a very important role. I mean, the fact that regional parties are growing is an indication of, I would call, the maturation of Indian democracy, where our regional or social plurality is finding reflection in our polity. So this is nothing regressive, as some people try to make out, but the regional parties have an important role to play.
Well, we are looking at all regional parties. There's no question we are not eliminating any, and we're not including any. Of course, there are our past allies, and they will have to be with us as our first preference. We have worked with them. They are time-tested. So obviously, we are much closer to them. And that's what's going to determine the prioritization in alliance formation.
Well, there is no question of BJP or NDA supporting anybody from outside. We are the largest combination. Outside supports are always vulnerable. And therefore, it's always preferred that if there is an alliance, people participate. And if we have to reach out to people, our basis is only the non-Congress parties in various states.
Well, I don't see the Congress is going to be the largest party. And the Congress can't go about lending support to parties of 20 or 30 to form a government. It doesn't make sense.
Well, the question of whether we'll be inside the government or outside the government, or how we support, these are questions which, according to our own party Congress decision, are decisions that our Central Committee will take the moment election results are out. So nobody can change our party Congress decision. So we'll have to wait till the election results come, wait till our Central Committee meets, only then these answers will be given. It can, the earlier experiences of instability was essentially due to the fact that such governments had to rely on outside support from the Congress, or like the VP Singh government from the BJP. So the moment the source of instability was again the BJP and the Congress from the outside support. So the moment you have a situation where the government can be formed without such a support, then I think there is no cause for instability at all.
I have no doubt, and I don't think we'll require any outside support once you add up all the Congress plus. That is Congress and all the allies. But yes, if there is a marginal deficit, if there is a marginal difference, we don't mind taking support, provided it comes from those who are not hobnobbing with and are not part of communal alliances like the NDA.
We will be the largest party. Of course, we are not claiming that we are going to get 272 seats on our own. Having emerged, when we emerge as the largest party and the largest pre-poll alliance, in the interest of forming a stable government, we are pretty confident of getting other parties to support us, which happened in 1998.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi is one of our most charismatic leaders who has crisscrossed the country over several thousand kilometers over the last 1 year, more than anybody else. I repeat, more than anybody else, to garner votes for the Congress. He's our mascot. He's a great leader. And to think that he would want to break alliances is ridiculous.
See, it is actually a compliment to the BJP as well as to the JDU. They are trying to woo Nitish Kumarji because of his performance in Bihar. After 15 years of nightmarish government under Lalu Prasad Yadav and his party, finally Bihar has been liberated to come on to the platform of good governance and development and security. It's a coalition government. JDU and BJP are together running this government. So when Rahul Gandhi and others praise Nitish Kumar, they are also praising the BJP because we are also part of the government. Having said this, it's now absolutely clear that Nitish Kumarji is going to be part of the NDA.
Well, Rahul's comment on Nitish is not a combative comment. And it's not in Rahul Gandhi's nature to be combative in that sense. And it's not a hostile comment. And you may not be with somebody, you need not be hostile to somebody. That's the way we should view Rahul's comment. And Rahul's comment also, what he says is one thing, what he doesn't say is perhaps that Nitish may have done better if the BJP wasn't with him and if he wasn't with the BJP.
It's a clear admission that they are not going to form a government on their own. They want new allies. That is a clear admission.
I think he was kite flying. And he thought that a compliment from him would please some of the opponents.
See, this is yet another creation by a section of the media that Advaniji is not acceptable. Far from truth. It is Atalji and Advaniji together who constructed the NDA. Atalji was the Prime Minister, therefore the focus was on him. Now Atalji is not leading the NDA, not leading the BJP. There is no difference between Atalji and Advaniji as far as the basic commitment to forming a coalition government. And Advaniji, as Deputy Prime Minister, he has already dealt with all these parties, including people in the opposition who have, sometimes publicly admired him. So the question of acceptability either in the NDA or in the greater NDA that will get formed post-16 doesn't arise at all. Advaniji is the unquestioned leader in 2009 elections.
Well, we had a UPA Mark 1, we'll have a UPA Mark 2. But that doesn't mean our Prime Ministerial candidate will change because the Congress will be the largest party. And if Congress is the largest party, Congress will decide its Prime Minister. And Congress has decided its Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh. These parties of 10, 20, 30 can't start deciding who your Prime Minister will be. They've got to have the numbers to dictate it. But all regional parties will be in the range of 10, 20, 30. So 10, 20, 30 cannot say that we'll come with you, but we will decide who your Prime Minister will be. That doesn't make any sense.
All these are issues that we will discuss only post-election. Right now we are in the midst of a political battle. And in that battle, we are aiming to establish a non-Congress secular government. Of course, I mean, every party in our country will have to, by definition, either be part of a ruling coalition or sit in the opposition. So, I mean, this is I mean, as long as you're a participant in the parliamentary democracy, I mean, you always have to be prepared to sit in the opposition.
That situation seems unlikely, but readiness is not. It's all a number game. So the numbers can put me in government, the numbers can put me in the opposition. So wherever the numbers decide, I will sit.
I don't think that situation will arise. I am absolutely certain, and I understand what the electoral field is like.
The BJP and NDA will most certainly emerge as the largest party and the largest pre-poll alliance.
I think it's either the dreaming of the NDA, the Mungeri Lal ka sapna of the NDA. Certainly, we are totally unprepared because we are fully prepared to be sitting in government. The Chal, Charitra and Chehra, the history of a party does have an impact because somewhere it gets embedded in the psyche of the voter. It gets embedded that here is a person who is giving himself self-congratulatory pats on the back, saying I'm a Mazboot Neta or Nirnayak Sarkar. And actually he's a person whose government under his deputy prime ministership or home ministership sent the foreign minister of India to Kandahar escorting terrorists. This is a major issue. It is also an issue that the BJP starts remembering Ram every 5 years around election time. They are insincere. They drop all their core issues of Uniform Civil Code, Ram Mandir, Article 370. So the hypocrisy shows. And I think somewhere the BJP will have to bear the brunt and pay the penalty for this hypocrisy, double-facedness and double-speak. Bofors occurred in 1987. We have had several elections after that. We have won several elections and run government in several coalitions. It's an old, dead issue. It's being tried to flog a dead horse time and again. There is no life left in the flogging at all even now. And the people have rejected this issue as a non-issue.
You see, the Congress had no live issue. They had nothing to tom-tom about their 5-year performance. So they went back 9 years and 20 years. I don't think an issue is an issue merely because you want it to be an issue. They've raised it, and people have cold-shouldered them.
I mean, all these are important. I mean, they're not that they're not important, but I think the dominating feeling that been since at least I have now travelled from where? From Darjeeling to Kanyakumari, from Sikar to Barpeta in Assam. All across, there's only one singular feeling that I have come across is that people want relief. They want relief from the burdens that they are undergoing now. So that is going to be the most dominant issue.